Recently, I made a video on Belle Delphine, how she made this post on Twitter. It started trending, and there was no warning or anything like that, and it was just some extreme, not safe for work content that she's known for, but I think everybody's biggest problem with it was just that it was trending on Twitter. There was no warning, and if you were curious to find out what Belle Delphine was doing, you would click on the image, and you would definitely see this gross penis. All right, that was my biggest problem with it. I don't care what she does. A lot of people were just not interested in seeing that. I think, of course, we all know she's a not safe for work artist. Obviously, her Twitter is gonna be promoting the work she does. I'm not trying to excuse anything she did in the post. People will be offended by whatever they want to be offended by. But yeah, I thought I'd just break down my perspective on it real quick for everybody. So Belle Delphine has responded in the most Belle Delphine way she can possible. She has a not only I'm not sorry post, and here's why. And so here is now, I'll read. I didn't realize she had this big response. I thought her main response was just the brushing her teeth video, which I don't suggest anybody watch. But here is her response to everyone addressing the BDSM problems that people were having. There is nothing wrong with enjoying power play and BDSM where both people are consensual. I think saying because I enjoy consensual non-consent is promoting the R word is the same as the argument that violence in video games promotes violence. I made it very clear in the caption of my photo and anything written about it that I was enjoying it and that it was consensual. I never said the R word or anything against my will. This is what people have put onto it. I enjoy the idea of being tied up and used with my consent, obviously. Another thing that people have said is that I'm trying to dress like a child, which to me is insane. I felt like dressing vintage that day, and I even styled my hair in a beehive that was very common for women at that time. All of the clothes I wear are made for adults, so the only thing people can comment on maybe is the fact that I'm wearing a cute dress. It's very confusing for me because I see people dress like that all the time. If it's about how I genetically look, I can't change that, and I will not apologize for it either, nor will I stop being sexual since I am a sexual active adult. No one likes the R word. No one wants the R word to exist. Saying that I support the R word is the same as saying that 50% of the female population does. Because if you look at statistics based upon this from studies done over the last 30 years, including new studies, 31 to 61% of women have power play fantasies in the exact same way. I consent to being tied up and to having rough sex. I am not apologizing for anything. What I did wasn't wrong and much more normal than people think. Look at one of the most common sexual outfits and fantasies, schoolgirl. If I wear that, you are promoting the P word now. The front page of porn sites include fantasy scenarios of every different kind that you can think of. Stepmom, teacher. Just because someone likes the fantasy of something doesn't mean that they want it in real life. Sex is complex and explorative, but should always be consensual. I post a lot of sexual stuff on my Twitter because it's for my OnlyFans. People who are sensitive to kinks and sexual content shouldn't be following me. I've made it very clear that I am posting hardcore porn. Staying true to myself and my beliefs is more important to me than following the tide of angry, angsty people on the internet. Can you imagine a world where people actually posted how they individually felt rather than how their whole cancel culture shitty community felt? It would be a better and more productive one. As for people saying I should have used a trigger warning, my whole Twitter/OnlyFans has consistent themes of kink. I do porn as a job, and I will not put a trigger warning on all of my posts. Do not follow me if you require trigger warnings before posts. P.S. It was the best sex I've had in months, and I'm planning on doing it again very soon. So as you can see, Belle Delphine has clearly explained herself. I think, you know, from what I've read, this is how she is. And when I stumbled across the post, I don't expect her to do trigger warnings. I just didn't expect Twitter to be promoting it to the front page, basically, you know, the trending page, and for people to be pushed there, you know, basically by Twitter. It's not really Belle Delphine's fault. It's not really Twitter's fault. That's just how the system works. And that's my perspective on it. It was just, I think, brought to a lot of people's attention that really weren't interested in it. Now, if I never really do this, but I thought I would include this in this video so that we can get kind of two birds done with one stone. I want to talk about Alpharad. Alpharad has recently quit YouTube, or at least taken a break. I had seen part of his Code Miko interview, and I didn't realize that in that interview he was talking about leaving YouTube. Now, he made a tweet recently explaining himself and explaining what's going on with him so that people aren't worried. Let's just check out what he has to say. After 6 years of working an intense and consistent schedule, it feels good to take some actual time off from uploading/social media. Just know that I'm alive and I'm doing well. I don't know when I'll be back, but one day I will be. See you then. It's all about passion, and I'm just trying to reignite that flame. 2021 content will be pretty different, but I'm confident that it will be better than ever before. Just give me time. Now, I have been pretty nostalgic for Alpharad recently. I was checking out some of his Mario Odyssey gameplay. It's good to know that he'll come back. I think he's one of those like shining lights in the YouTube community. And I mean, granted, he went through a lot in 2020. I don't know if you guys remember the entire Smash community debacle. That must have been pretty intense to go through, to see a lot of your, you know, coworkers or, you know, friends just being exposed for, you know, some pretty awful stuff. So to see Alpharad come out on top and come back and, you know, be promising better content than ever instead of this just like ambiguous "I'll be back one day" is nice to see, and I think a lot of his fans need to hear that. So thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you thought about the, you know, setup of this video. I might do this more often, include a couple topics in one, just because I don't want them to be too short, although I do like making shorter videos these days. It's been pretty good, but I'll see you guys next time. Everybody take care. Later.